Music at GCSE becomes a slightly different subject because we get a lot more practical time. So what you're going to look at doing over the course is it splits into three areas. And the main areas are performance, composition, and then appraisal. But they all actually link together and support each other. So with the performance, that's where most people come into music, and that's what most people take it for. What we're looking at is anyone who really enjoys singing or really enjoys playing an instrument at all. This is the part of the course that assesses that and develops it as well. So we would support you by providing instrumental or singing lessons to develop your voice or develop your instrument. And it's a part of the course where you can really follow your own interest in music to some extent. So if you like rock music, that's the type of music you would play. If you're more of a fan of classical music, then you could sing or play some classical music. Within that, we then start to try and understand the music you're playing and really dig deeper. And the composition side of things just means creating your own music. And there are two to do over the course. The first one is a completely free composition where you, again, follow your interests in music. So if there's a style of music you really care about, you really listen passionately to, you have the opportunity to investigate it, partly by performing, but partly by creating your own music in that style. And one of the things you create will become part of your controlled assessment. The second composition is then looking at the skills you develop over the first year. In the second year, the exam board give you a set of briefs which just say, compose in this style for this audience. And then you have to think about what those instruments would require, how that music may sound, how the venue affects what you would hear. So you're creating specifically for something counts. And that's there to train people that might there one day want to compose for a living, because you can then compose to anything. If someone's out there willing to pay you money, you develop the skills to do it. Part of our support and part of how we learn about that is there are 8 set works. So the appraisal paper for music takes the form of a listening paper. And over the course of the 2 years, you study 8 pieces of music in a lot of depth, and you listen to lots of other music that's in a similar style. And we break down why the music sounds like it does, why it's successful, why it sounds so brilliant in some cases, why it sounds so scary in others, and where other composers have used the same techniques. From that, by learning what to call these things, how to write about them, and how they're used, that will develop your own skills in composition as well, and that's how you're then able to compose in whatever style you're given. So by the end of the course, you will have done 2 performances, one as a soloist, one as part of a group. You'll have created you'll have created more, but you'll have created 2 pieces of music which is good enough for you to hand over and say, actually this shows how well I can create music. And then there is an end exam, which is just playing you little bits of the music you've studied and asking you specific questions about what you're hearing at that point. The course is suitable for anyone who has played an instrument or sang for a while and is at a reasonable level, and who is really interested in not only performing and playing, but understanding how music's put together and creating music of your own.